I don't know where to start though at the beginning, like, cause I don't
Where to start? The year was 1980. The month was
I'm not
December.
gonna sit here and interview you like you're
Carlos
some celebrity.
Navarro was
is,
born.
Oh my god. I can't do this. Hey guys, it's Megan and welcome to today's video. This is such a totally random video, but it's an exciting day for me and my husband because last night...
Hi, I'm Carlos.
Oh, that's Carlos. Hi.
I'm Megan's husband.
Yes.
Are
you just gonna take this over?
No, I'm just gonna talk and say hello. That's it.
Okay, so this is my husband Carlos, if you
Hi.
don't know that already. And last night was Sunday night, and what happens on Sunday night is the show Walking Dead comes on. And Carlos has watched this show from the very first season, and it has been his favorite show since all time.
To be perfectly honest, I did binge watch the beginning 2 or 3 seasons. Maybe.
Okay, so you didn't watch it from the...
But maybe I loved it anyway.
Okay, well you...
But I've watched every and
I tried to get
maybe
into...
a couple from last year I missed.
I tried to get into the show initially, and I'm not like a gruesome lover person where I like to see like that stuff, and I was like, no, it's too much.
Gruesome lover! Sounds like an 80s rock band.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
So, for those of you that don't know who my husband is, he is a radio personality, but he's also an actor, and he's been an actor
I like how you said that.
Actor.
Because that is how I feel, that I'm an actor.
Oh my god.
A thespian.
Okay.
Proceed.
So, he started acting. We've been together since 2004.
Really?
The beginning of 2004.
Really?
Since I had just turned 19.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't 35 at the time.
Wait.
I was...
So 2005. No, I'm pretty sure it's 2004. God, why can we
Carry the
never...
7. I don't know.
Well, I'm 31 and a half right now, and I've been with him since I was 18, and a week later turned 19. So that's how long we've been together. So someone out there that can do the math, because we are horrible at math.
What can I say? What can I say?
Our $5
I knew she was
note.
the one, okay?
So he was taking acting classes at the time, but he hadn't started...
At Harvard. I don't even think that's a really good drama school, so proceed.
He hadn't gone out on any official acting auditions before we were together.
No.
So I was there at the very beginning of his acting journey. So he has been a working actor for the past 10
years. Working actor.
11 years. Yeah.
10, 11 years.
And he's booked a lot of awesome things.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things when he first started out was Prison Break. He had a little part on there.
I played tough general number 2. I was not talking like this because he was Panamanian. And yes, I just spit across the room.
Okay, so fast forward, he's done lots of commercials. He's been in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Identity Thief. He was in the trailer of that. He had a good, funny part in that.
That was
what
good,
was your
quite
name?
good.
Sandy?
Luis.
Oh,
Thank
Luis.
you.
No, not Sandy. Yeah,
Thank you.
Luis.
Sandy was what he said, which was hilarious.
So anyways, we have a studio at our house, and he gets auditions for out-of-town things in Atlanta and LA. And
in the big city!
And, oh, if you don't know, we live in Orlando. Did I already say that? I don't know.
Right next to Mickey Mouse, right outside.
So when we get auditions from his agent, a lot of times we come into the studio and we record them, and I film them and I'll read the other line or whatever, and it gets submitted. So we had the opportunity, and by we it means he, but I've been a part of this, so I say we.
She absolutely has in every single way, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for you.
Thank you, I'm grateful for you.
Thank you.
That you're welcome. So about 5 years.
You want a French?
No, not right now. No, that would just
think
be
it'd be
awkward. It'll just be awkward.
I think it'd be...
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into this. So about 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, he got his very first Walking Dead audition.
Yes.
And we were like, oh my god, and that was his favorite show at the time. We were like, oh my god, could you imagine if we get this? How awesome would this be? Be life-changing.
All I need to do is book this one and my life will change forever.
It'll turn around. Lo and behold, doesn't book it. Then we get another one, and throughout the past 5 years, he's probably auditioned for the show at least 10 to 12 times.
Now look, all those times, I was very thankful.
Even get my wine.
Get a little sip of your wine. And got, callbacks and things like that. But as you could imagine, and this is really what the story is, I'm glad we're talking about this story, is that at the time, I was like, okay, I don't think I'm probably gonna book this because I've been out for it a lot of times, and I did want to give up, but I never seriously did it. We never looked at like a Walking Dead, audition and said, we're not gonna do it. It was just like,
you'd be like, oh God,
okay.
not again.
It was, because we didn't want to be heartbroken again, and I think.
And at this point, I still had never watched Walking Dead.
Yeah, no.
I'd heard of it and knew it was one of his favorite shows. We've seen all the auditions, which the audition is not, when you get the script, it's not anything like what actually
related to the TV show. Right.
They kind of get a sense of what they would want your character to be like, so that there's no spoilers from people. So when you got this last one, you did an initial audition, and then we didn't really hear anything back.
No, I hadn't actually auditioned.
I thought you had one, and then you hadn't heard anything.
No. It'd been a while. It'd been a while since I had a Walking Dead audition. I was like, I guess they were finally done with it. They're like, we're good with Carlos. But fortunately, I was not.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was just sleeping and taking a nap because I do a morning show from 6 to 11. Monsters in the Morning. We were already 104.1.
Shameless plug. Go.
Not shameless. Proud.
You woke up from the nap.
And I looked and there's a text message from my agent. Shout out to Tracy, who said, hey, check your email. I said, okay. And so I'm like, I'm checking. And it said the executive producer, Scott Gimble of The Walking Dead, would like to see you for a part. And I'm like, ooh, God. Like that. I'm like, just like that.
He's like, Megan, you won't believe this.
You will not believe this.
I was like, oh my God,
and
this is huge. This is the executive producer writing.
God bless that man, by the way. Like, he happened to be watching this.
That he wants to see you for a part. Our minds were just blown.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just auditions that they send for people, but this was specifically being asked. So we were both like, all right, go do this audition with someone that like does this for a living, so you can knock this audition out of the park.
Yeah, and it's not like we didn't knock it out of the park for the other ones. It was like, you know what, we've done this so many times. Let's just do something a little bit different because this is different.
And I'm not an actress, so I can't give him direction. Like, I know little bits from just being around it, but I wanted him to be with another actor, especially that can like just make the audition even feel a little bit different and give him different direction.
And shout out to my acting coach for a very long time, Miss Lauren Burns of Class Act Studios here in Orlando, Florida, is the best.
We love her.
And we love her. And also, just kind of fortunate for being in this kind of area too, where
there's a lot of talented actors.
There's a lot of talented actors in this area, so they do look for actors here in town. And so anyway, I went to audition with Miss Leander Suleiman, who was amazing, and doing it, and it was two totally different characters from nothing from the show. It was more kind of some archetypes of type of characters, and luckily.
When were you asked? Were you asked at that point if you knew how to ride the horse or the motorcycle, or was
I'd asked if I knew how to ride a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Motorcycle was first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me preface this by saying I'm not going in here like I'm not replacing Rick. I'm not like I'm being introduced into the show.
Our journey,
and this is just more the journey of kind of how we got to this point.
A wife of an actor.
Yeah.
The journey of just trying to continue going through this business.
Yeah, I by no means am trying. I got to remember to say this because I talked about this on the radio show on the Monsters in the Morning and I gotta remember to say hey, I don't want to give anybody the misconception that I'm saying that I'm some gigantic part. That's my goal for sure, and I'm definitely have a great part on the show that I'm very happy and proud of. But I by no means want anybody to think like, look at this, does he think he's Rick? Does he think he's Negan? That's not the case.
No, it's just an exciting day for us.
It is exactly. It's the day after it was released, and
so he gets booked. And this was he was booked in May, and it's now October 31st. So he shot his very first episode the end of May, and we had to keep it a secret. This whole time. And he had to ask off from work, and he was able to shoot not only that episode, there will be future episodes that he's been in it too. So he's had to miss work multiple times, and he's usually gone for half a week to a week each time he's gone. So people are like, what is he doing? Where is he gone for? And we're like, we can't say. And people were throwing out guesses. And then before his second episode that you booked, they asked, if you knew how to ride a horse.
Yeah. So then they go, are you good with the horse? And I said, I'm fantastic with the horse. And then like I told my agent that, and then Meg said, well, they asked. I said, they asked if you're good with the horse. I said, I'm fantastic with the horse. She said, you don't know how to ride a horse. I said, I know, but I'm going to learn. And I
said, do not take this lightly. Go get you will not know how to deal with this horse if you do not get trained a little bit.
And that's been one of the most amazing experiences out of this, is learning how to ride a horse for a part. As an actor, that's something that you strive for. I know me personally, I there's a lot of things that I enjoy, but I would never think of to go horseback riding, So I said, okay, let's go learn. And I got to learn with a great coach, Lizette Shipley, and you got to go out with Lennon.
I got to watch him. It was surreal watching him ride this horse, because he'd never ridden a horse before, and I went in like a couple trainings in, so like he was on the horse, like knowing what to do. I was like, holy crap,
awesome.
That was so cool.
It was really rewarding, and I want to go back and do it again. I don't know if how it's going to work out in the show. We'll see.
Yeah, at this point we have no idea.
Yeah, we don't have
no
idea.
Okay, let's back up just a little bit.
Okay.
So you've been shooting, and you've been coming back, and then like they don't give you much time to. You don't know very far in advance when you're shooting most of the time. So it's just been kind of, okay, we shot this, who knows if they'll have us back again. Shot this, who knows if that, so it's just been kind of this thing.
Yeah.
And so you've been up this past time, you got back like a week and a half ago, and you were gone for like almost 2 weeks minus a couple days.
Right.
And we knew at this point that the kingdom that you were going to be a part of is going to be a huge thing. They had started having trailers out. King Ezekiel was being introduced, and he is a knight for King Ezekiel.
Yeah.
So that was just mind-blowing, because I kept trying to see all the trailers. I'm like, are we in it? Is he in it? Are you in it? He wasn't. But we found one Spanish one that you were.
No, European. I wasn't a European trailer, so. I mean, I don't know how to really else say. I mean, it's just pretty. It's pretty amazing to like I said, regardless of anything, to have made an episode of The Walking Dead a goal that I've strived for a very long time is, even right now, as it is right now, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, to be in even one episode of this show was just what we thought at the beginning. They told us that it could possibly be a recurring character, but we didn't know for sure.
Yeah.
And so as it got closer to the premiere of Walking Dead, I was like, I've got to watch this show. Like, this has been such a big thing for us. So I decided to watch the journey so far. And if you have never watched Walking Dead, but you want to watch it now, go watch. It's like, I think, an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's good. And it's really good. Really good. It sucked me in immediately. Like I said, I hate gore and stuff, but you get invested with the characters, and that's what keeps you locked in.
It's true. Then you don't care about the gore as much, right? Because you're like, okay, that's the zombies. That's not even the heart of this.
Yeah, it's not the heart of it. And so I watched. We knew that he was going to be in episode 2. So I watched the journey so far. Then I watched episode 1 of season 7 and was like, oh my god, insane. Then I watched Talking Dead after episode 1, and it was raining, and I started crying because it was like, everyone's freaking out that Glenn just died, and it was
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, I'll put in the thing, spoiler alert, whatever. But by now, most people know that Glenn died. And I knew right then, I was like, I'm now invested in this show. Yeah. So we have been counting down until last night's episode came on, and we knew that you should be in some of it. Yeah. So we were freaking out.
And even the way things go, it's like you look at it and it's such a great show. You watch it and there's stuff that they leave in, stuff that they put in. You're like, oh, I didn't know that was going to be there. Most of it I had no idea, because you shoot only your scenes. You don't go look at other scenes like what Khary, who plays King Ezekiel. I didn't get to see all his other stuff, and he's
with
amazing.
Carol was amazing.
And so was Melissa and Lenny and Logan and everybody, Cooper and Khary and Daniel, everybody who I've been fortunate enough to work with. It was a pleasure to see it, and that was something. To watch it, and that was one thing I didn't realize I was gonna kind of get watching it. Like, was this really intense joy for that person, because you experience it together, and you're like, oh man, this is. Because I got to meet them as people ever before actors, I didn't, you know, most of them, you know, we hadn't seen each other's work or whatever, and
yeah, and you just like went out to dinner with them every night.
Yeah.
You just like hung out like friends.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Not like
We were the
actors.
Yeah, we were the people there that from out of town. We didn't know anybody, and
They put you up in a hotel, so you're
yeah.
all staying at the same hotel. So
Yeah.
then you just
and they treat you real well, and they treat, you know, it's a lot of fun to be able to do it, and what you hope is that the people that you're going to meet and work with are cool. And what I found is everybody, the entire cast and crew of Walking Dead are just top notch, like through and through.
And I got to go, what was this, 3 weekends ago now? There was a Walking Dead premiere party that was in Georgia. And
that was surreal because it was like, you know, luckily Megan was able to go up to Georgia. I was filming. I drove, you know, I found out about this party like pretty much the week I was shooting on Thursday or Friday. And then it was like, hey, can we possibly do it? And Megan figured it out thanks to Gigi and thanks to people. Like, they figured it out, and Linda was able to stay. Drove down, picked her up, drove back the next morning. We went to the party. We stayed at this beautiful hotel.
I stole, like, this. So this, they rented out this place. I forget what it was called, but it was a
really nice restaurant.
Yeah. And they had these napkins all over. Like, look at this. It's a Walking Dead napkin. And I stole like a whole bunch of these, like stuffed it in my purse. And they had like a bourbon and rye tasting area, and it said Walking Dead on it. And oh, you're in there. Get in there. No, you got to get out of focus.
Oh, sorry.
Whatever. But they had this, and I was like, I'm taking everything that says Walking Dead. Oh my gosh.
Because I was able to bring her in, and
I hadn't yet watched any of the episodes, so I didn't know who anyone was.
Right.
But I got to meet the people that he had been talking about shooting with, and everyone was so nice. The only person I met, or I knew who they were by seeing them, was, what's the director?
Greg Nicotero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because we saw him at Halloween Horror.
We did, yeah.
But he was so nice, and King Ezekiel, Khary, was just the nicest guy ever. And he does the voice of Rafiki on the
amazing.
Lion Guard. If you have kids and they watch Disney Junior, that's his voice. And he did like this little thing for our daughter who loves Lion Guard, and he's just like the sweetest guy.
It is. Everybody I work with, like I said, is top notch in different ways, and I hope to get to work with them again.
Yeah, it's just been a really surreal situation and experience, and we're really excited. And we watched the episode. We're like, oh my gosh, are they gonna show you it all? And then Carl's like, well, they just cut out my one line that was in the episode. I'm like, dang.
I had one line at the beginning of the show, and I'm like, and I knew some reshoots had happened. I was like, but maybe they kept it in. I was just keeping that hope alive, and I was like, oh, they cut it. It really wasn't that important anyway. I was like, can we get the truck? I mean, that wasn't a big line anyway.
I'm going to insert a couple pictures of screen grabs that people have gotten so you can see.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, what he looked like.
It was crazy to watch it all put together, knowing how...
He got a couple of there's a couple scenes where it's like a close-up of his face, and like him, there's a scene, spoiler alert again if you haven't watched it, but there's a scene where he takes a dead pig, which was a real dead pig that he told me about right after he shot it. He was like, I hope they keep that part in. And he grabs this big fat dead pig that, how much do you think it weighed?
Oh, it had to weigh 50, 60 pounds.
And like, he was like, babe, it didn't say it in the script, but I offered to take this and like chuck it down into the thing to make it more realistic, and they went with it. And I was like, hope they keep it in. So we're like, oh, fingers crossed, this is the pig episode.
I'm ride or die. If I'm on set and I think something will be so much better, I'm like, you know, I want like I don't want to even think like, oh, I do. In a situation like that where it's your part, you got to think of like, hey, if they want you to go to a different level, go to a different level, you know, as long as you're somewhat safe.
So they kept it in. We were super excited.
I don't even eat pig.
Yeah, the
I don't even
irony.
eat pork. I was like,
He felt a little bit bad, but it just worked with the scene.
It did.
And it was exciting to be able to see that, and we're looking forward to, you know, the rest of the season and seeing how it all plays out and seeing where the kingdom goes and what happens. We don't even know what happens. We don't know what happens in the finale. We don't know anything. We just know that he's going to be in a couple more episodes. We can't even say, I don't even know if we can say how many or anything like that, but it's definitely something really exciting. And regardless if he shoots no more episodes after this, being able to have gone through this journey and been able to see you on your favorite show in the world, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cry. I'm just so proud and so excited for you. And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I am though. it's crazy. The acting world, if you're not in it, it's a freaking roller coaster all the time. But
I'm very grateful for it. It's been very good to us.
Yeah.
And for anybody out there watching that either knows me or supported me, thank you, because you know, I'm just very.
And I wanted to put this out because most people that are if you follow him on social media, you already know what's going on. And if you follow only me on social media, you might know, but you might not. And then if you follow me on YouTube, but you don't on the other things, you probably have no idea who this guy is or that he's an actor or anything like that. So I just wanted to share this other side because it is such a big part of our life right now.
We're
both
a team,
so
for sure.
excited.
We're definitely a team.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you love Walking Dead. We might do a few more like random Walking Dead things here and there because I've been watching people's YouTube like Walking Dead things and like hearing what they think of the episodes, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty exciting. So totally into Walking Dead now. I love it. It's not just because they hired him, but it did help me get into watching it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for joining me, my love bug.
Bye-bye. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
You're a nerd.